we had determined that the sensor on the new cell was actually bad. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to replace it. Of course, you have to shut the pumps off, and the sensor really needs to be on the bottom, and so it's a little bit inconvenient to get to, so we're going to go ahead and loosen these unions up. And then we're going to spin this so that we can actually get to the sensor. And I have my new sensor here. I have already threaded it through a spare nut that I have. Of course, the cells always come with new unions, and Jandy unions are pretty good, so it's very seldom that you actually have to swap them out for new unions, which is great because one of their competitors' unions tend to be not so good, and when you come into a situation like here where the unions are butted up, it doesn't give you a whole lot of options. So I've taken the old one off. I'm now going to put the new one on, and of course it is keyed, so you see that key right there. That has to go in the slot here, and once I do that, we're going to tighten this union up. I want it a little bit more than hand tight, so I use an oil wrench. I don't go crazy on it. Again, Jandy unions are pretty good. They've got good O-rings on them. We're going to flip this up so that that sensor is facing down, and that's very, very important so that it actually functions correctly, that it's in a horizontal position. So we'll tighten this union up, and then this union, and this section of it is now done. We're going to go over to the control panel, and we're going to unplug the old sensor and plug the new sensor in. Okay, so here's our control panel, and I went ahead and brought the new sensor up through the hole, the big hole in the bottom. That's always your best bet. And then we're going to unplug the old sensor, which is there. Go ahead and remove that one and thread this one in place. Again, this sensor is keyed, so it's kind of difficult to screw it up, to be honest, but it's a little bit hard to see in the video. But of course, there's a connector up there. Go ahead and plug that in. Make sure that before you plug it in, all your pins are straight and you get it in all the way. So that's the extent of changing the sensor. Now let's go ahead and put this back together and turn the pumps on. And as we watch this, you're going to see that the sensor flow light is going to flash numerous times. It does take a little while before that happens, and you'll notice up here it says wait. So we're going to fast forward here just so that you don't have to wait this whole process out. And there you can see it flashing, and it should go solid after it gets done flashing. And notice that we are on program A because this is a newer system. So you can see the light on program A is on, and the sensor flow light is on here. If you look up here, it says flow. And now if we hit our temperature, we see that it's 92 degrees Fahrenheit is the water temperature, and the salinity is 3,700 parts per million. So this is now functioning correctly. You'll see that all our lights are on. Our cell light is on. Our flow light is on. It's actually cell reversing right now. That is going to alternate on and off depending on which cycle it's on. Every 4 hours or so, it flips from one direction to the other direction. So at this point, everything is fully functional with this. We've got power on, cell on, flow, and cell reversing. There are no errors that are coming up. So, job done.